Hey, I'm going to talk about the Hitch mounted motorcycle carrier that I found at Amazon. This was the cheapest one I found at the time. I paid $79.99 for it before taxes. Um, I went back and tried finding it again through my orders, and it does say it's currently unavailable, but there's a lot of similar ones that work just the same way. This one in particular says it's for dirt bikes, but I used it for a regular street bike that weighs 320 pounds. So um, you could use it for basically, I'd say, any motorcycle. The capacity is 500 pounds, so most motorcycles should be all right. Now, the reason why I needed to buy this is because I needed to transport my motorcycle from Texas to California. So it was a 13 and a half hour drive, 920 miles. So I pretty much put this carrier to a to its limit. I, I did a good test on it for quite a bit, almost 1,000 miles. Um, Straight ride, stopped a few times for gas, and that was it. Now, the car that I used to tow the motorcycle is a Ford Escape 2012. I had to add the hitch myself, and it was rated for tongue weight of 300 pounds. The opening of the hitch was 1 1/4 inch, so I had to add an attachment to make it into a 2 inch opening. I did get the attachment that raises the hitch up a few inches, so I could make sure that I would clear some entrances to gas stations and stuff like that along the way. Now, I decided to go ahead and build the motorcycle hitch carrier once attached to the adapter of the hitch because it was easier for me to do it by myself that way. So the first step is to go ahead and put the piece that attaches to the carrier onto the adapter first. Now the next step for this carrier is to attach two metal pieces. They're triangular in shape, um, to the metal part that attaches to the adapter on the hitch. Now once you attach those two metal plates, the base for the motorcycle is going to go in between those plates. Once the base for the motorcycle is placed between the plates, all you have to do is use the four bolts on each side to secure the base of the motorcycle carrier to the triangular shaped plates, and then that's it. Now here's the final product, and I know it looks messy. I was embarrassed of driving like this down the street, but this is the way that I thought it would work best. Because the weight wasn't adding up with having a hitch carrier with only a 300-pound limit um tongue weight, especially adding an adapter to it. I read that it reduces the tongue weight by half. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything set properly and everything tightened up. So the way that I did this is that the actual bicycle carrier, I attached it to the roof rack of the car. And the reason I did that was so it could reduce some of the effect the road would have with the bumps and all that stuff, so it wouldn't be bouncing up and down as much. So I wanted to release some tension by doing that. So on each end of the motorcycle carrier rack, I crisscrossed them to the roof rack, and that way I also managed to level the rack because it was leaning a little bit to the left. So I managed to level it and also reduce the tension from the bumps that I encountered along the road. It does look like slightly overkill, but I just wanted to make it as secure and safe as possible, and this is how I decided to do it. This worked for me. What I said earlier, almost 1,000 miles, and I had no problem whatsoever with it. So as you can see right here, I was just leaving a residential area. I was doing some turns, and I was going about maybe 40 miles an hour. It wasn't until I hit the highway that I started driving 65 miles an hour. At first, I was a little bit scared of going 65 miles an hour, but I decided that that was the right speed for me to be at. And I only went above 65 miles an hour the whole trip about 2 or 3 times. Besides that, I made sure I stayed at 65 and under. So I don't have any more footage other than this footage that I got with my GoPro. I put it in the back of the windshield for, about an hour of the drive. And then I took it off, and I was gonna record more when I got home, but I was just too tired after that 13 and a half hour drive. I just unmounted the motorcycle, stored it away, and took the carrier apart, and I went to sleep. So basically, in essence, the carrier worked for me. I did take extra precautions on tightening up the base to the roof rack of the car. All in all, it worked. I was skeptical about it. I was reading all this stuff about tongue weight and then adapters and cutting weight in half and stuff like that. I did feel very nervous, but it worked for me. I've only used it that one time, 1,000 miles, and that was it. So I hope this video helps, and thank you for watching.